these are the Polak twins. I think we've had the whole discussion around reincarnation and if we believe in it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I believe we have at some point.
So
Yeah.
for non-believers, this might make you think a little bit. So in 1957, Joanna, who was 11, and Jacqueline, 6, Polak, were killed by an out-of-control car. Horrific.
Yeah.
In 1958, their parents had twin daughters, Gillian and Jennifer. Jennifer's parents noticed that she had birthmarks in exactly the same places that Jacqueline had them in.
Yeah, right.
So getting goosebumps.
It's a bit eerie.
Yeah.
So when the twins were around 2, they started asking their parents for their old toys, and they started rattling off and describing, like as 2-year-olds would, kind of toys that Jacqueline and Joanna
I love these kind of stories.
had.
Yeah,
so like do you know, was there any chance at all that they could have seen, like, did they still have
they
them?
didn't have the toys anymore.
Oh, so they're not even like in an attic, in a box or anything. They're actually gone.
Yep.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yep. And I do apologise because I did forget to write down the cities that they were from. But when the girls were babies, they lived in one hometown and then they moved away to another area and then thought, nah, not really right for us. Let's go back home. So the girls were around 3 or 4 when they moved back home again, and they started recognising all these landmarks from their hometown, and their parents were like, they were babies when we were here.
So
There's
cool.
no way they could remember these.
Yeah.
They would sing the same songs that the girls liked. Their food tastes were the same of those of Joanna and Jacqueline. They had the same taste in clothes that the other girls had, and they even would recognise family friends, like as if they'd known them forever and ever.
Introduced, and then they're like,
yeah, but they knew
like
who they were.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very odd. And then when the girls turned 5, it just stopped. It as if any of their past memories
like
were just erased.
Oh my God.
That is I got all goosebumps.
Like, if that's 100% correct, that's pretty amazing.
That is crazy. And I think the fact that they lost their daughters who were 5 years apart and then had twin daughters.
Yeah.
It's almost like lost us, but we're not ready to leave you yet. We're coming back.
Yeah. Which, you know, when you lose children and you go and have other
horrific.
children.
They never replace them.
Yeah. But
ever.
like, if you could get a part of your original, like, first 2 children back,
you'd take it.
You'd be like, yeah,
would you have been so
you'd
scared,
probably for a while think that you were just doing like
what's happening in my mind,
making something out
of
of nothing because you miss
would.
your children still. But yeah, that's a lot of things that aren't explained. Like, you can't just explain all of those things away really easily, can you?
No, not at all.
No, and there's not just that case. There's tons of cases.
So many out there.
And it's interesting, like they lose the memory around the time where you start getting better at deep thinking and all that kind of stuff. So like your life is taking over.
Yeah, like when they reckon kids can see ghosts and that, and then they stop seeing it, it's because
we keep telling them they're not there.
Yeah, we've taken away that sort of like spark and turned them into, you know, just like they're turning into regular people. Like, you know, when it's not, you know,
their minds are closing because because other people can't see and we're telling them it's not there.
So what's the best explanation then? It is the soul deal, isn't it?
It is.
It's like an energy.
Traveling souls. Yeah,
I mean, they
whatever you want to describe it
energy
as.
Can't be destroyed. It can just be like dispersed. And
But why
That
would
was
it
a
be
good word.
dispersed
That was
into
a good
those the next kids, like however many years it was later?
It was only one. It was only one.
1 year
It was
later.
only 1 year later. So they died in 1957.
Oh, I thought you said 56, but still.
I think it was like March 57 or a little bit later. And the twins were born in October 58. Right.
Well, people believe all sorts of things. Like if you have, people believe that like, or have been told by, you know, psychics or whatever, that like that child that you aborted or that child that you lost then came back to you later in the form of another child, or, you know, like you hear
Yeah, I'm just wondering in what form. Like if it is like an extended memory type thing, where's that memory lingering while it waits for the... Like that one seems harder to explain than even though thinking there's like a soul realm But that seems more logical. Like if you think about it from a like whatever point of view, even science is starting to think along that direction. If you die and you do have a consciousness,
like does that actually die?
Yeah.
Or where does it go?
Maybe it's like it wants to be back, and I don't know. But what did she split? Did Jacqueline split in two? Do they have half a soul each, or do they have half their own soul and then half of Jacqueline's
and then
soul?
half Jacqueline, half of Joanna's? Yeah.
Yeah. What's the deal there? Anyway,
that's the thought. Yeah. But I really liked that story. I was like, holy shit, that's
super interesting.